22.
Jana
Well, very nice. Took part of one song, combined it with the other song, yeah? And made their own song. Good. Good morning, everyone. Huh? Same tune. Yeah. So we're very happy that, again, I can introduce Swami Yogatmananda ji. He gave a wonderful beginning of the retreat yesterday on the Jewish mystical tradition that's found in the scripture called Zohar. And this morning he'll conclude the retreat with a talk entitled Magic. Come, Maharaj.
ॐ ब्रह्ममेतु मां मधुमेतु मां ब्रह्ममेव मधुमेतु मां ब्रह्ममेधया मधुमेधया ब्रह्ममेव मधुमेधया ॐ शान्ति Shanti, Shanti. May Brahman, the all-pervading existence, be realized by me. May the absolute bliss be realized by me. May the Brahman, who is also the bliss, be realized by me. May I realize Brahman by purification of my awareness. May I realize the bliss absolute by purification of my awareness. May I realize the Brahman, which is also the bliss, by purification of my understanding. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear friends, I had given a lecture on a similar topic in Providence in 2017. And just as a preparation for today's talk, I was listening to it yesterday night, and I found it so boring. I mean, even by my standards, you see. So it is. So I thought, what to do now? There is no point in now changing the topic. And that was what I prepared, but I will try to rehash it. Sometimes when I cook, those things, the preparation doesn't taste very good, but then I again season it, put some more salt, pepper and such things, then it becomes a bit tastier. So I'll try to do today with that talk. So in the process, certain things I told then will get dropped. Certain things I didn't tell then will get added. So the theme is this very similar idea that we all as human beings, it is strange, but we love magic. The expert magicians, they put big shows. Thousands of people gather there, pay money. Essentially, what do we pay money for there? To see how we get cheated, isn't it? Yeah. So, it is, to see magic is that, how we get mesmerized. There was a German man, a doctor, Mesmer. From that the word mesmerism has come. He used it as a technique to induce certain states of mind. So hypnotism or mesmerism is something like that. And the magicians, they use this technique to delude us and take our attention away, and we see something that is very perplexing. We cannot deny it's happening, and yet it cannot be explained. Very difficult to understand it, how it happened, and yet it has happened. So this is where the word magic appears, that this is magic, that I don't understand how it happened, but I cannot deny that it has happened. So it is, let me tell you an interesting incident, that there was a big magician in India. His name was P.C. Sarkar. Many of you must have heard about him. So he was, this is anecdotal probably, whether it really happened or not, I don't know. He was giving a show, magic show, in Navadvip in Bengal. So lot of people came, bought tickets at a high rate, and then the show was to begin at 6 o'clock. The hall was jam-packed. It became 6:10. The magician was not seen. 6:15. Still there was no magician on the stage. And people slowly started becoming very restless. It became 6:30. Still no magician. They became very agitated and started, shouting that, well, what is this? We paid money, we came all the way, and where is it? It is 6:30 already. And it went on. They then started, vandalizing, throwing chairs here, there, violence. So it is 7 o'clock now. The magician appears and said, what this behavior? I cannot understand what you people are doing here. I have heard good reputation about Navadvip, that people here are very civilized, very good, and you are, indulging in this rowdy type behavior. Why are you so violent? Why are you so agitated? It is beyond me. Why are you so angry? And somebody said, you came so late. Did I? I thought the show was to begin at 6. Look at your watches. Everybody looked, it was 6 o'clock. They felt so ashamed that, and he kept on blasting them for another 5-7 minutes that this is not the behavior. I am not likely to come to your city again. What? And then after blasting them for some time, he said, okay, the show was from 6 to 7. It is already 7 o'clock plus. Look at your watch. It is 7. That was the magic show. That he put that spell of mesmerism on the whole gathering, made them believe that it was 6 o'clock already, it was 7 o'clock. So that was the magic show, that how you could see 6 in your watch, although it was actually 7 o'clock. And then again, in just 2 minutes, normal time was being seen, 7 o'clock. So that is magic. That the theory of magic is very interesting, how it works. That our attention is spread in so many different directions. lot of information is constantly coming to us. And our brain is actually not able to process all the information thoroughly. It is something, just to give you an example, it is something like if you have a thin tube and then you are pouring water into it. Now, if you are pouring water exactly into that hole, then it will go through that tube. But the tube has a very narrow aperture, small, narrow tube. So, it is very likely that if you are pouring using a big jar to pour water, then most of the water is going to go beyond this little capillary tube. So, that is what happens to our information processing, that our brain has this small inlet to let the information really trickle in. But our sense organs are bringing lot more information. And so it is not possible to actually process all this information together. It is, in modern times, it is the information explosion. So much information is coming through so many different ways to us that it has become very, very challenging for the brain to process it, to choose the right information and just concentrate on that. Because there are so many pulls that our attention gets very diverted. For some time we are paying attention to one thing, but then immediately our attention gets pulled in other direction because that appears to be more interesting, more inviting, or more necessary. So we pay attention to different things, and thus the magician sees the opening there where you are not paying attention, and takes that condition, where he does some sleight of hand or mesmerism, whatever you may say, and thus one feels how it happened. I was right in front of that magician. He didn't go anywhere. He didn't do anything. It was right in front of my eyes. And we human beings believe eyes, because that is how our brain is programmed. Most of our neural, although we have the 5 senses, most of the neural network is connected to the visual inputs. So therefore we have this idiom that seeing is believing. We don't say hearing is believing. For dogs, seeing is not believing, smelling is believing. Because most of that neural network for a dog is connected to the sense of smell. So dog doesn't believe by what you see. It has been experienced, suppose on a big screen a photograph of that person is shown, the dog doesn't say that it is the same person. But smell, even if the person is not seen, from a distance you get the dog gets the smell and immediately recognizes. So human beings, they keep on seeing, but then the magician introduces certain tricks to make the attention go away. It is Matt Franco is a well-known American magician. He won that America's Talent award. He was the first magician to win that award. So at his age was just 25 then. I'm telling about it, because he is from Rhode Island. So anyway, so it is, he showed one magic show. He has many things shown, and then he says, look how it happened, that he was telling, see, these card sets are like this, and then I am keeping like this. He does those card tricks a lot. So, and then come, any of you can come, it is so that it is not that he has already planted somebody in the audience that, anybody, you come. And somebody walks up on the stage and picks a card, as usual, the card tricks. And he says, well, okay, see, I am not doing anything. I am shuffling the cards, mixing it all together. And then he tells that person, now just take the first card. And that was the card that he had chosen, Oh, it was wonderful. How did it happen? The magician was just shuffling that card, so he was not practically doing anything else. But what he did was, in between, he welcomed a guitarist. Oh, this famous guitarist. Oh, well, I'll talk to you later, I'm busy right now. This magic show is going on, but thank you for coming. And so forth. That now that guitarist was planted there to divert the attention. Immediately, people's attention went to that, what he is talking to the guitarist. In between, he changed those card sets and then put the one that was selected by that man on the top. So he said that is how the attention that was diverted to the guitarist. So our consciousness, we become conscious of things, but there are holes in our consciousness. Those holes are exploited by magician. The skill of magician lies in exploiting these holes. So, it is dependent on that. Once you understand how it happens, then the sense of magic is gone. Magic, therefore, is very difficult to show magic to little children. To the adults, it is easy to cheat them. Well, one has a different idea, that thing that the children can be cheated easily. In different contexts, that is true. But in context of magic, the children are difficult to deceive because the children have very small attention span, and so their eyes are looking all over, So therefore they catch immediately. Hey, but then when you were talking to that guitarist, you were doing something? So the fellow gets caught by the children. So children are difficult to, in this context of magic, difficult to cheat. So the magic goes on like that. Once you understand how it is done, the magic is over. So where the things are not logical, you consider it magic. When the logic behind is understood, then the magic is gone. Either the logic is there or magic is there. The fact is, so earlier the theories used to be that how the rains come. There are the rain gods who pour down the water. Then the science develops and then gives some rationale that it is the water gets evaporated by the sun's heat, and then they form the cloud, and that water is returned again to the earth in the form of rain. And so the poor rain gods had to say goodbye, but still it is still considered magic, because that logic is not sufficient. Why do the rains fall in one place, and that too sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't fall. There are some good rainy seasons, sometimes there are no rains. In California now, that is the ongoing problem for a long time, that no rains. So, is there any logical pattern? If there is logic, then one can address the problem that this is the reason that the rains are not coming. So we should act in certain manner. So when you find the real cause, then the magic part disappears. Otherwise it is all magic. In fact, is logic really logical? Is mathematics that is considered logic, is logical? There were attempts that to probe into the foundation of mathematics, that is that logical? And the answer is not really. We use mathematics, but it is not really logical. When you go to find the foundations of mathematics, there was in the close to 1950, there was a mathematician, logician, Kurt Gödel. So he kind of proved, because he actually showed that mathematics has no provable logic behind it. This becomes applicable to his proof also. So that is how logical that proof is. People question that he showed that it is impossible. I am not going to give you the details, this is not a class on mathematics, but the point here is that it is not provable that mathematics is logic. In fact, the other way, that it can be proved that mathematics is illogical. It is, as long as it works, fine, but there is no solid proof that it is logical. It seems to be the case in many things. I remember in one of my undergrad class on thermodynamics, the professor, very interesting professor, so he gave all the assumptions on which this theory is based. About 9-10 assumptions were given, written down, and that this is an assumed thing, this is also an assumed thing. These are all assumptions, means they are not proved, they are assumed. And then he went to show how each of these assumptions is false. How each of the one, for example, that I still remember, is that it is assumed there that all the molecules are perfectly spherical, which is not correct. They are not all spherical at all. So this is a wrong assumption. And he showed that how all these 10 assumptions are wrong. Now, if you are told that a big edifice is built, like say Empire State Building, and the bricks used are defective, lumber used is terrible, all those things, cement, lime, whatever, is all bad. How much chance the building has to stand up and survive for such a long time? You will not give it any chance. But this theory of thermodynamics, it has survived the test of time. Although the assumptions are wrong, the theory in practice proved to be quite a working theory. So it is like that the assumptions, isn't it magic? Wrong assumptions. But the superstructure on those wrong assumptions, that seems to be working very good. So that is a magic. That's something that is illogical. The professor told, so you may now assume that Why are we studying this? This is a terrible, unworkable theory. And the magic is that although the assumptions are false, yet the theory works. Practically, it has worked. It has produced, so many wonderful heat engines that we run our cars with. Not the electrical, but all those have been working. All those things, they work fine. Although the foundational assumptions are wrong. Magic. In all our day-to-day experiences, this is magic. There is a very beautiful song by Kabir. It is actually a couplet, Doha, that where he says that, look, in this cage, it is like a cage with 9 doors. This is in Vedanta, this is called, this body is called a town with 9 gates, Navadvare Pure Dehi. So this, and this bird of life is put in this cage with 9 doors which are open. Now, it is actually wonderful to see that the bird still is there and not has gone away. The staying of the bird is a magic, a wonder, not the running away. And 9 open doors, and the bird is in the cage, and the bird has not gone away. That is the magic, that is the wonder. We express wonder, oh, how this fellow died. Actually, how that fellow is living is a wonder. With all the 9 doors open, how this live bird is still there, that is a wonder. The going away is not a wonder, but we express wonder. Till yesterday, I met him yesterday, was fine. But that is how went away. That is no wonder that it goes away. Rehne ko achraj hai. Kabir says that it remains there is a wonder. Flying away is not wonder at all. So, the breath goes in and comes out. How does it happen? There is no explanation. It's a magic really that the machine keeps on working and works for a long time. For example, this heart, this pump, it is just a pump, a circulating pump. So we have, like in our heating systems and all, usually there are circulating pumps. And the life usually is about 5 years, 10 years. And it doesn't have to do as much work as this pump of heart has to do. And still it survives for a long time, people live more than 100 years with the same pump. In our these household heating systems, you have to keep on changing it every 5, 6 years or 10 years. So, it is a wonder that how it works. We don't know how it works. I asked that mechanic how this pump got spoiled. We don't know. As long as it works, it works. If it doesn't work, how can you say that in those days when there were the filament lamps, the electric lamps were with the filament, how it got fused? Well, there is no guarantee. It may last for 1 day, it may last for 1 year or 5 years. There is no guarantee on that. You may give warranty. Warranty means till this time we will replace it for free. It is like an insurance, but it doesn't say guarantee that it will work that long. No guarantee. There is just warranty. I was talking one day to a shop owner. I was buying some machinery and said that, does it have guarantee? And he wanted to just say that no guarantee, but he was telling it in a poetic and more convincing way. Oh Swamiji, this machine made by God, and that also has no guarantee. So what are you asking for the guarantee of this man-made machine? No guarantee. It can break any time. So it is, they wonder, the magic is it works. Magic is not when it stops. It can stop any time, but it still works. That is the magic. It is, the magic is a phenomena where you see that how you miss what you should have seen, and you wonder how we got cheated. It is everyday phenomena, and yet we don't notice it. That all this world, although unreal, appears to be so real. There is actually, if you examine, there is no reality to it. It is like magic. Sri Ramakrishna used to give this analogy that the world is like magic, comes and goes, like the magician's magic. Magician is real. That God is this magician who is real. But the magic that is thrown around is unreal. People get caught in it, deluded in it, and think that it is real. And it happens the other way, that they say there is no magician, the magic is real. We believe this changing, transitory things to be real and question the reality of God. Is God real? Every child starts questioning, is God real? Well, that is how the magic is, that the magic appears to be real. In spite of the fleeting nature of the objects, we think that they are real. And the that underlying reality behind it is questioned. Is it real? So, that is how we are under the spell of that magic. Everything appears to be real while it lasts. And then we are left to wonder if the magician could just keep on pouring money out of an empty hat. Why is he need to give these magic shows to get money? It is contradictory. And this contradiction is very perplexing, and still it doesn't dawn upon us that it is magic. In Jnana Yoga book, Swami Vivekananda narrates how the contradictory nature of these things is. That we want happiness in life, isn't it? Nobody is here who says, Swami, I want misery in life. Nobody is likely to say, everybody wants happiness. Now, the logical conclusion should have been, if I want happiness, I am working to get happiness, then I should have got what? Happiness, isn't it? Does it happen? Exactly opposite happens. In the young age, Swami Vivekananda says there in Jnana Yoga, young people are very difficult to convince of this. They think that in time they will get the happiness that they were looking for. Let this, like our Vitthal there sitting, will say, I am still minor, so let me become major, and then I will get all that happiness. Ask a major, that major also has later on I will get happiness. Later on, afterwards, after some time. And then Swamiji says there that now the old age comes. It comes. Not that anybody is praying for it to come, but in spite of not wanting, it comes. And then what a very emphatic statement there. What is this old age? He says there that it is a heap. Old age is a heap of shattered dreams. That this will happen, this is going to be true, this I will get, this is nice thing. Just I have to wait another year and then that everything will be so nice in life. So it is, you keep on waiting and waiting and waiting and refuse to see that how illogical it is. When we see that illogical aspect of it, then we give it up. But it seems that, yes, I will get it. Although you see nobody striving has got it. It is how illogical is human behavior. I was telling some friends, we were having some discussion, post-breakfast discussion, So that, a psychologist, I like to read his works, Steven Pinker. So he says that our thinking is very logical. He has very nice books about psychology, about the human language and so forth. So in one of his books he says our thinking is logical, behavior is illogical. And he has given so many examples that how while we think logically, we behave illogically. So it is here that we see, we keep on hoping illogically. There is a phrase therefore for it, hoping against hope. It is, we keep on hoping against hope. Everybody, you see, every day we see creatures dying, people dying. And yet, the most wondrous thing in this life is, somehow I think I am going to be immortal. I am not going to die. And that is what Yudhishthira, the great king of the eldest brother of these Pandavas, he told a celestial being, Yaksha. He was asking many questions. I am not going to bore you with another story, but an interesting story in that. And he asked him several questions. One of the questions was, Kim Ashcharyam? What is the most wonderful thing? And he says, Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti yama mandiram. Every day before you see people dying. And yet, sheshas thiratvam icchanti kim ashcharyamataparam. That still the remaining thing that the death is not going to touch us. What is more wonderful, what is more astonishing than this? Biggest wonder. And it is illogical to, logically everybody has to die. That is true, we are all going there. Some time back, my doctor examined and said that, oh, your health looks fine, but he put a mark there, at your age, from your age point, So it is, you have to put that perspective there. So it is, the age is advancing, but we fail to take notice of it. We still keep on hoping against hope that tomorrow will bring a gladdening, happy news. It is magic. You see that we are refusing to accept the logic. And so we get into this magic of thinking that tomorrow is going to bring some great good news in life. Doesn't happen, cannot happen. basically. So, this is how this whole world is full of this magic. There is one of our teachers in training center used to tell, in younger days, people don't believe that there is, they will not in this way get happiness. Let me finish my studies and then I will net in a very high paying job. I will become also an entrepreneur, build my industry, and then I will have some very nice partner in life, and so forth. And the life will be a story of everlasting bliss. A fairy tale, the fairy tales end like that, and they lived happily ever after. So it happens only in fairy tales. So in the young age, it is not convincing. So that teacher in training center used to tell how it works. When a train is going. And then the station is far away. It is the accelerator is being full throttle. It is going on because the station is far away and doesn't need to stop immediately. So it makes one sound that many of you might be familiar, some of you may not be. That it makes the sound like chick, 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 goes on fast. When there is now a station to stop is nearing, now the driver applies brakes. The sound of the train changes, and then you hear it, tuk, 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 tuk. So he said that when a young man, thinks that there is lot of life to live, the train is going fast. I can do everything. So the train is saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. When the old age approaches, now a station is as it were coming. The sound changes, tuk, tuk. I thought I could, I thought I could, I thought I could. That is the sound that starts coming. So, this is magic, friends. What has changed? Nothing really changed. But still, our awareness changed. That is how this whole world, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, is magic. That is not real. That is not real. It is, I was talking in the morning to somebody and said, well, what is there, I gave lectures and all. They are just same thing told with different titles, It is, the titles are different, the substance is the same in all these lectures, and it is not my fault particularly, all the Vedanta books, the big volumes or small texts, it is said that in half a verse, all of it can be told. It is slokardhena pravakshami yaduktam granthakotibhihi. Great statement, that I will tell you in half the verse, all the essence of millions of books. In telling this, he spent half verse. And the remaining half verse says, Brahma Satyam. The Brahman alone is real. Brahma Satyam. Jagan Mithya. Whatever this universe you are seeing is impermanent, just a passing show. Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. That what you think as an individual beings is just really nothing but Brahman. So this is the truth. So in various ways one tries to tell it. One idea is to see this as magic. It is told that this Brahman, the all-pervading reality, has a magical aspect to it. That is the primordial magic. And it has spread everywhere. That is why we love magic. Isn't it illogical that we go to see the magic shows? It is illogical. But our behavior is like that. Our Adishwarananji used to tell about all these Broadway shows, in New York. He was in New York. So he would say that people buy $200, $300 tickets to go and see all those melodramas there. And they sit there watching the show, start crying. Tears roll down their eyes. So basically they pay $200-300 to go and cry there, you see. So it is, we have this spell of magic that we are cheated all the time here. Everything is full of contradictions. That we go to seek happiness, we get instead this suffering. We go to live long, we want to live long. We may not admit it, but we all want to live long. That is one of the principles in this theory of evolution, struggle for existence. We want to exist. Although what we say, we live the life. What is living? A big contradiction there. What is living? Living is marching towards certain death. To this certain death that we are marching, and that we call living. Why not call it dying? Principally it is same, isn't it? We are, instead of saying we are living, say a person lived 105 years, and then we say that on certain day he lived for 105 years and died. We can also say, in fact it would be more logical to say that the person was not that suddenly at the age of 105 he died. The process of disintegration was going on for 105 years. So for 105 years the fellow was dying, and we call it living, you see. So it is, the difference is like that, full of contradictions, no logic. It is therefore all magic. So, Sri Ramakrishna says that that is how this Maya is. One understanding of Maya is that it is a show where unreal appears to be real. It is, Shankaracharya describes it in Vivek Chudamani, this Maya is difficult to pinpoint that it is this. Sannapya, sannapi, ubhayatmika no. Bhinnapya, bhinnapi, ubhayatmika no. Means whether it is real or it is unreal or a mixture of two. Difficult to say. It is neither a real nor unreal nor a mixture of these two. Is it combined with things or different from things? Well, again, difficult to say whether it is separate from everything or mixed in everything. You cannot say. So it is, nothing can be said about it. And yet, well, we are under the spell of it. This is magic. So, there again I invoke Kabir. Kabir is one very famous bhajan is there. One of that, people love those bhajans called Nirguni bhajans. So, Nirguni means there is no particular God that is being described there. So, he says, Maya maha thagini ham jani. And that Maya is a great cheatress. Tirgun fas liye kar dole, bole madhuri bani. It is, this has these snares, threefold snare, that is the Triguna. So, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. This, and with this snare, she has put a spell on everyone and talks very sweet tongue, invites, It is very inviting. We cannot resist the temptations. It is, yes, other things are easy to resist, Temptations are kind of difficult to resist. So, Maya tempts us. It is, and thus we get caught in this magic. So, Sri Ramakrishna used to say that this magic, this world, is not real. God alone, the magician alone, is real. So one has to seek this truth. It is, let us stop getting cheated. Do you like to get cheated? Again the question, when the answer, yes and no, Do we, this, I didn't make this noise, it was magic. So, it is it, if we do not want to get cheated, it is, let us not get cheated. Hold on to God, the reality, and have this understanding that this world is a magic. It is just a show. It is not real. We get mesmerized by these tricks of Maya. So, let us remember this. It is by the sweet way of saying, the objects speak very sweetly to us, that, oh, okay, come to me, I will give you lot of happiness. It is the promise, like you get this in your junk mail, so many such promises. Just give us your bank account number and this and that, some things, your date of birth and social security number, and the $10 million check is on your way. So, and why they do it? Because there are people who fall in the trap. So, it is for us to see that there is something lurking behind. It is not possible. It is so, we have to learn to be more logical. Logic is not the ultimate, but it is better than to be illogical. So, examine logically, are the things that I am seeing or experiencing real? If they are not real, then let me not have any attachment to them. It is, yesterday I was telling that if we know that things are not real, if the things are impermanent, then you never will have attachment for them. It is our understanding, subconscious understanding that they are permanent, they are real. Because of that, we get caught in them. It has to be developed, I tell many times that, see, do we ever get attached to this seat that in the, say, plane you are sitting? Are you have you seen anybody getting attached to that seat? They may say, yes, this is my seat. But they know it that it is for 2 hours, 3 hours. So, even before the plane lands, you are ready to leave it. You start looking for your things and then packing things. Nobody ever sheds a tear. Do they? Oh, my dear seat. No. It is because we actually know that it is impermanent. About these things in the world, we take them to be real. Although we see that they are impermanent, yet that impermanence does not sink in our awareness. So we get cheated. So let us see this. And then we will see not the magic, but the magician. And the life will become a continuous stream of bliss rather than getting cheated in the name of happiness. So let us hope and pray that such understanding comes in our lives. Thank you very much. Thank you, Atmajnananji, and all others for giving me this opportunity again to say something, some few words. So if you at all have any questions, then you can ask. Yeah. Do they have any question? Probably, yes. Nobody is raising hands, so nobody has question, it appears. So that means I have given good explanation, isn't it? Yeah. So I conclude with the closing prayers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Our thanks to Swami Yogatmananda ji. It was anything but boring, Maharaj. It was fascinating. Maharaj, I'm reminded of something. I don't know if it was, somehow I think maybe it was a question put to Einstein. I'm not quite sure. But he was asked if he believed there was intelligent life on other planets. And his reply was, we're still looking for it on this planet. Yeah. So we will close. Swamiji mentioned Kabir a couple of times. You'll do a Kabir bhajan, okay? And then we'll invite everyone for some snacks in the basement. And again, great, wonderful weekend that we had. Tremendously grateful. Always enjoy Swamiji, not just his talk, but his personality. And it's very joyous to have him here, and we hope, Maharaj, we hope you'll come back whenever you can.
So this is one of Kabir Das's Nirguni bhajans. निर्गुण गलियां सांखरी मरहेली वहाँ चढ़ियो नहीं जा निर्गुण गलियां सांखरी मरहेली वहाँ चढ़ियो नहीं जा वहाँ चढ़े तो पिया मिले मरहेली वहाँ चढ़े तो पिया मिले मरहेली आवागमन मिट जाए मरहेली चलो हमारा देश यो तो आवागमन मिट जाए मरहेली चलो हमारा देश। कहाँ उगे कहाँ आसते मरहेली, कहाँ उजाला हो। कहाँ उगे कहाँ आसते मरहेली, कहाँ उजाला हो। यहीं उगे यहीं आसते मरहेली, यहीं उगे यहीं आसते मरहेली, यहीं उजाला हो मरहेली चलो हमारा देश। यो तो यहीं उजाला हो मरहेली चलो हमारा देश। कहाँ को गरजे कहाँ बरसे मरहेली, कहाँ सूखा का हरिया हो। कहाँ को गरजे कहाँ बरसे मरहेली, कहाँ सूखा का हरिया हो। यहीं गरजे यहीं बरसे मरहेली, यहीं गरजे यहीं बरसे मरहेली, यहीं सूखा का हरिया हो मरहेली चलो हमारा देश। यो तो लगा भजन वाला बान मरहेली चलो हमारा देश। निर्गुण का बाजार में मरहेली, हीरों का होबे व्यापार। निर्गुण का बाजार में मरहेली, हीरों का होबे व्यापार। सुगुरा मानव तो सौदा करे मरहेली, सुगुरा मानव तो सौदा करे मरहेली, ये तो नुगुरा मुगवाय मरहेली चलो हमारा देश। यो तो पांचों जन्म नहीं आए मरहेली चलो हमारा देश। अनहद का मैं दान में मरहेली, मारा साहिब जी का सेज। अनहद का मैं दान में मरहेली, मारा साहिब जी का सेज। कहे कबीर धर्म दास से मरहेली, कहे कबीर धर्म दास से मरहेली, ना तो मरे ना बूढ़ा हो मरहेली चलो हमारा देश। यो तो यहीं उजाला हो मरहेली चलो हमारा देश। निर्गुण गलियां साखरी मरहेली, वहाँ चढ़ियो नहीं जा। I guess just the first couple of lines. Nirguna galiyan sankhari mariheli means the path of the formless, my friend, is very narrow. Wahan chade to piya mile mariheli. But if you were able to climb it, you will find the beloved there. And ava gavan mit jaye, the comings and goings will go away.